Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. Allow me to begin this video by asking you this simple question. What do you think Rigathi Gachagua should do after he is impeached on Tuesday? Because clearly the members of parliament are going to impeach Rigathi Gachagua. What do you think he should do? As you think about that, allow me to take you back a bit. On Friday this week, public participation on Rigathi Gachagua's impeachment kicked off in the entire republic. But what did you observe? For me, there's one thing which I observed and I want us to analyze in this video.
Tumechoka kuambiwa fulani ni mbaya na fulani ni mzuri. Na mimi nasema hivi leo, embe moja ikioza kwa kikapu yote yameoza. Nasema Kufa Dereva, Kufa Makanga.
Most Kenyans had a feeling that if Rigathi Gachagua has to go, because the truth is almost 100% of Kenyans want Rigathi Gachagua to leave. But if Rigathi Gachagua has to go, then William Ruto must also go. And that's why the rallying call on that particular day was Kufa Dereva, Kufa Makanga. In fact, Kenyans added some 3 more to that list. Kufa Mechanic. In this case, the mechanic is Raila Odinga. Because remember, Raila Odinga came into Kenya Kwanza to fix it by donating the experts. And Kenyans also called for Kufa Turn Boys. And finally, the Turn Boys were Wetangula and Mudavadi. And of course, they also used some names there to describe the Kikuyu member of parliament, Kimani Ichung'wah. So in this video, I want us to look at why personally I strongly believe that the call for Kufa Dereva, Kufa Makanga on that day should be a wake-up call for William Samoei Arap Ruto.
Mimi nataka niwaambie, chakula ni kile ambacho kiko wapi? Chakula ni kile ambacho kiko hapo mezani. Tumeelewana? Na kile chakula ambacho kiko mezani sahizi ni nani? Ni mswada wa Rigiji. Tumeelewana? Kwa sababu kule bunge la kitaifa saizi hakuna mswada wa kumuondoa Ruto. Kule saizi kuna mswada wa kumuondoa nani? Rigathi Gachagua. Kwa hivyo sisi kwa dakika hii tutadili na kile chakula ambacho kiko pale mezani. Ama sivyo hivyo? Tumalize chakula hicho. Na mimi sisikii vibaya kwa sababu gani? Kama Rigathi Gachagua ataweza kweli kuondolewa kama deputy president, niko na imani hata hakuna mtu mwingine atakayekuja kutushinda huko mbeleni. Hii ni president yenye ambayo inakuwa set katika Kenya hii. Mtu ambaye anaonekana analeta nyokonyoko, haeleweki, hana maendeleo na ukabila, hafanyi kazi vizuri, kumbe wananchi wako na sauti ya kuzungumza na kusema ende wapi.
Because in my view, Kenyans were sending a strong message to Kenya Kwanza government. In fact, I was talking to somebody and he told me that William Ruto and the team were actually shocked when Kenyans started demanding for his exit, also from the scene. But something also happened today because in this video, I want us to focus on the Kufa Makanga, Kufa Dereva, and why it is going to send William Ruto home in 2027. But today, Rigathi Gachagua attended some church service. And Rigathi Gachagua decided to apologize to William Ruto. I looked at Rigathi Gachagua's body language, the tone of the delivery of his message. And of course, he was in a church service. And something is not right with Rigathi Gachagua. Watch Rigathi Gachagua before we focus on the topic for today.
In one way or another, we have wronged somebody. I want to say to my brother President William Ruto, if in our zeal to work, I have wronged you, please find it in your heart to forgive me. I want to say, if my spouse, in her duties for the boy child and her program, has wronged you in any way, find it in your heart to forgive her. To our members of parliament, if in the course of duty, through our utterances and actions, we have in one way or another upset you, all wronged you, find it in your heart to forgive me.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you followed the public participation on the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua on Friday and on Saturday, one thing was very clear, that Kenya Kwanza scored in their own goal. I think William Ruto did not listen to the intelligence system, or the intelligence did not really brief him on what to expect. Otherwise, if he was well briefed, probably that public participation would have been delayed by a day or so, because it has exposed Kenya Kwanza in a very bad light. I want you guys to just watch these short clips before we focus on the topic.
Ameoa bibi yake ni wa kanisa. Gachagua ameoa pasta. Sasa kama watu wa kanisa hawasikizani, sisi watu ambao kuokoka inakuwaga kizungumkuti, tutafuata nani?
Hao wanaanza miaka 2 tu kwa ofisi. Tutawasaidia namna gani? Sasa wenyewe wanachoma nyumba yao, alafu wanapika nduru. Unajua sisi tutawasaidia watoane. Na sisi si wenyewe wamesema. Sasa sisi tutaingia hapo tuongeze numbers, tutasema enda nyumbani. Waende na sisi tuchukue sasa, tuwaonyeshe vile kufanya kazi. Unaona? Sisi unaonanga nani katika ODM anapinga Raila? Hakuna. Hata kama unajisikia wewe na wengine uko na nini, ukiwa mbele yako na nyenyekeo utasema ndio mzee, ndio mzee, na mambo yako yanakuwa mzuri. Lakini ukimea pembe unakuwa kashetani kadogo. Si ndio? Na kashetani unajua akatuli, ndio Mungu alikafukuza mbinguni kakaanguka hapa duniani. Hiyo mambo ya kusema attached at the hip, hakuna kitu kama hiyo. Wewe wanakutoa tu naenda na mwingine ataingia hapa aendelee na kazi.
No, those are Kenyans. And remember, at some point, Murara Kebaso was actually stopped from accessing the venue for this public participation, especially in at the Bomas of Kenya. Before we get into all those details, in case you are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to dive in. But again, before I dive in, allow me to introduce you guys to LemFi. LemFi is a mobile money app for users in the UK, Canada, and the United States of America to send money back to Kenya. They offer the best exchange rates, and the money will be delivered instantly into your M-Pesa account, Airtel Money account, and of course, if you want, directly into your bank account. You can use the link in the pinned comment to download the app. Ladies and gentlemen, let us dive in. One thing is still very clear, that Kenyans are not happy with William Ruto. And if Kenyans were to be given an opportunity, they'll clearly send William Ruto home. The truth of the matter is that even with the entry of Raila Odinga into Kenya Kwanza, things might not have changed for the better for them. But the Kufa Makanga Kufa Dereva clarion call, in my view, is something which is worrying Kenya Kwanza. Why am I saying this? Number one, the rage against Kenya Kwanza by Kenyans is still very strong. As a matter of fact, Kenyans are very angry. They are very bitter with this government because of the way this government has been doing certain things. There was that finance bill which they tried to force down the throat of Kenyans. Kenyans stopped it. Currently, there's the Adani scandal, which they are trying to force down the throat of Kenyans. Kenyans are watching. There is the shift, which they are forcing down the throat of Kenyans. Kenyans are watching. Then, members of parliament, in unison, are pushing for the removal of Rigathi Gachagua. So Kenyans expressed their rage that if Rigathi Gachagua has to go, let him go with the president. Because Kenyans believe that Gachagua may not be really the main problem Kenyans are facing. So that rage is still on. And that is something which should worry William Ruto, because after Kenyans stormed parliament, the expectation was that William Ruto was going to change the way he was doing things. In fact, he expressed that desire by dissolving his cabinet. But when he appointed the new ones, it was very clear that nothing much changed. So that rage, Kenyans can sustain it up to 2027. And that's something which will worry William Ruto, because even the same yesterday, was it yesterday or the same Friday, there was some UDA comrade chapter, the ones they've been moving around in across the country. So they were in Nakuru. And you could also tell that from their own events, the rage is still there.
Nataka kuinject. Ni inject nisi inject? Hapa nimekuja kusema ukweli. Swali zote mmeuliza. Niseme nisiseme? Kwanza, hii party yetu ya UDA, this is our UDA party, iko na pesa. Haina. Si iko nayo? Kweli si kweli? Na hii party yetu ya UDA ime-create hii comrades chapter ili watutem kama Gen Z 2027. Kweli si kweli? Niseme nisiseme? Niendelee? Na sasa mimi ni kuna kitu moja ya kuambia watu wetu wa UDA. One thing. I only have one thing. Hiyo pesa yote ya UDA na hii kitu yote yenye mmecreate sijui comrades chapter. Hamwezi create comrades chapter and then kitu mnakuja kutuambia hapa ni housing. Housing na tujasoma. Eti, let me continue. Comrades, relax. Acha nimalizie. Mheshimiwa hapa, mheshimiwa namjua, former senator Mombasa, alisema they want to create a UDA academy. You cannot create a political academy na masomo ya hapa university atusomeshi. Kweli si kweli? La mwisho comrades. Comrades power. Ya mwisho comrades. Nataka kusema hivi. Then if they want us to join this comrades chapter, and if they want this comrades chapter to work, then hiyo pesa yote UDA iko nayo, they must give our vulnerable students in our universities bursaries. Kweli si kweli? All the comrades with disabilities are suffering in our universities. The people with disabilities are suffering in our universities. This UDA party wakitaka to join, wa make sure wa make a welfare kiti yenye na cater for them. Kweli si kweli? Niendelee nisiendelee?
Number two, I think Kenyans also delivered a feedback to William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza. And to some extent, even the ODM experts, or Raila Odinga for that matter, that Rigathi Gachagua is not the singular problem in Kenya. That Kenyans are facing serious issues that the lawmakers should actually focus on. And Rigathi Gachagua is not one of those problems. And I want you guys just to listen to this guy from Marakwet, explaining it in a way that anybody else can understand. That the problem in Kenya today is not Rigathi Gachagua. There are so many other problems which should be given priority by the president, by leaders, and of course even Kenyans themselves.
Nataka niuliza wakazi wa Elgeyo Marakwet, huyu Gachagua akiondolewa mamlakani, yeye barabara kutoka Mwarer mpaka kule Toti itawekwa lami. Tukitoa Gachagua, hii stadium ya Kamarin itajengwa. Tukitoa huyu Gachagua, hii mambo ya university funding itawekwa sawa sawa. Tukitoa Gachagua, mimi nauliza, sahi watoto wetu wana employment, wameumia sana. Wakienda kutafuta kazi, polisi ni 1500, army ni 1800. Kwa nini wabunge wajasimama kitete na kupinga hiyo shida yote hiyo? Mbona wajasimama na hiyo? Nafananisha wabunge na wanaume 50 ambaye wanarepu mwanamke mmoja. Sio mwanamke atakufa. Nafananisha wabunge na nguruwe ambaye amesikia njaa sasa kwa ulafi yake anaanza kukula watoto yake. Inaweza kuaje jamini?
No, from that mzee, you can clearly feel what the mood looks like. And of course, number 3, I think Kenyans also sent a message to William Ruto and the government that this impeachment, even if Rigathi Gachagua is going to be removed, that will not solve their problems. Because it was expected that once Rigathi Gachagua was removed, at least Kenyans were going to be excited. A new deputy president is going to be put in place, and Kenyans were like, okay, let's see how this one is going to work. But clearly, from the reaction of Kenyans, it's clear that they believe that the impeachment is not going to solve their problems. In fact, if you were to ask me, if Rigathi Gachagua were to be removed, because he's going to be removed, his options are 2 now: the court and maybe the Senate, which I don't think will side with him. But Kenya's problems will still be there. So which means if William Ruto had intended to use this impeachment to hide certain things, to divert attention of the country, that's all. Kenyans are not going to buy that. And lastly, I also strongly believe that the Gen Zs still have a date with William Ruto. I think the moment the Gen Z protest flopped, William Ruto has not managed it well. So these Gen Zs, they are still waiting for William Ruto. And that's why they keep on reminding him that wewe pia enda. Ruto must go. In fact, there was a club somewhere in Nairobi, I think, where everybody was singing Ruto must go. Ruto must go. And you see, that's how things build up. So for me, if you ask me, the Kufa Dereva, Kufa Makanga call, in my view, is something which should give William Ruto and his team serious sleepless nights. I'm glad that Raila Odinga is no longer in the local politics. Nobody is seeing him. He should continue like that. William Ruto is also silent. Nobody is not talking about this impeachment, maybe by design. But I think in general, this impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua, which is going to happen, and we want it to happen, is going to cause more problems for William Ruto and his government than they are imagining. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Until next time, this is Makwiny. Bye-bye.